The other day I was having a look through my collection, having a look at some of the slabs and singles that I've picked up recently and admiring the artwork of the card. And whilst I was doing this, I recognised some of the art in the background of a particular card. Now I'm going to show you that slab in a second. I have come prepared today with props, so I'll show you a slab from my personal collection. And when I seen this card, I recognised the art and thought I've seen this in a couple of other cards as well. And then it also got me thinking, a video I made the other day where I talked about 10 of the best cards under $30, I specifically mentioned a card, Sawsbuck to be specific, in which when you piece it together with another card, dealing its pre-evolution, they create a bigger picture which I dub story cards. Now I'm almost positive there's no official term for these types of cards. I just personally like to call them story cards, as when you piece the cards together like a jigsaw, they paint a bigger picture and they create a story. Now the point is today, just simply go through some vintage cards and some newer cards, a bit of everything, and maybe give you a newfound love for some cards that you probably knew existed, but perhaps weren't aware that they can create a bigger picture. So jumping straight into the first example, and I'm going to start strong. I'm going to start with a group of Pokemon that are personally my favourite and use the prop that I spoke about at the beginning. So this card right here, if it focuses, as you can see, it is the Umbreon from the Japanese Neo 2. And as you can see in the background, it's kind of stood in front of a temple. Now, when I recognized the temple, I knew I'd seen it in other card arts, and those specifically being this Espeon right here and this Eevee right here, both also being part of the Japanese Neo 2 set, just like this Umbreon slab I have here. So when we piece these three cards together, as you can see, the Espeon, the Eevee and the Umbreon at the top there, these are also from the Neo Discovery set in English. They create this bigger picture and I absolutely adore it. You've got Umbreon and Espeon on their pillars, they're looking at each other, and poor little Eevee down below wondering what's going on. I just love the picture. As a massive lover of the Eevee and the Eeveelutions, Umbreon being my favourite, I really do love this picture. And I wasn't aware at all, perhaps you were, perhaps you knew about this, but I wasn't. It was only after I dig deeper, after seeing this slab here that I have, I realized that it was part of a bigger picture, and I found this and I absolutely adore it. Just a very quick thank you to everyone who continues to show support on the channel and on the videos that I'm making. Guys, I absolutely love making them, and it appears you guys love to watch them as well, as the support you're showing is phenomenal. So thank you very much, guys, for the support. If you are new here and you haven't yet subscribed and you do love videos around the TCG, please feel free to subscribe, as I would love to have you here. Now, I'm sure you're all aware of Scarlet and Violet Base having that Ralts evolution line. As you can see right here, we have Ralts, Curlier and Gardevoir. And of course it tells the picture, as you see the girl in the family aging as Ralts evolves. But did you know that actually wasn't the first example of this happening? If we go all the way back to November 2013, more specifically the black and white set Legendary Treasures, there is actually another example of this happening. Yes, the original example is actually the Tepig evolution line, and as you can see right here, you can see as Tepig evolves and goes through its evolution line just like Ralts, the family also grows with it. So although Ralts is a very beautiful line and I absolutely love those cards, it actually wasn't the first time we've seen them. It almost references the first time we've seen them in Legendary Treasures, which featured the Tepig evolution line. And as I said, that was the first time we've seen this type of card. And I absolutely love it, right? I mean, look at that family all there growing. They all seem happy. You see Tepig get bigger and bigger, and even in his biggest form right here, still fits in with the family, still looks very happy. I love these cards, and I'm actually going to pick them up, as I don't have them in my collection right now. Now, this next one's not really a story card, it's more of an Easter egg. At least that's what I'm going to call it. Now, here right next to me, I have a picture of Cerulean City and Route 5 below it. And we're going to specifically look at those double line patches of grass above the daycare center there. Now, for those of you that are not aware, or perhaps don't even know, because you didn't play the original generations, in those patches of grass you could find Pokemon such as Pidgey, Pidgeotto, Rattata, Jigglypuff, Abra, Meowth, and the list goes on and on. But today we're going to specifically focus on Meowth. Now we're going to specifically look at this promo card right here, Meowth, coming from the Starter Deck generations, which unfortunately we only got in Japanese and not English. So this card, if you want it, you're going to have to pick it up in Japanese and not English. So for those of you that are eagle-eyed, might be able to see around the center of the card there, peeping between the hole between the trees and the bushes, you might recognize the art style and the roofs of a couple buildings there. Now, if you haven't already put two and two together, let's do it for you right here. As you can see, This perfect image right here circles the part of the card that I was referring to, and also circles it and displays just what part of Cerulean City is being portrayed within that card. And I absolutely adore this, right? It's great. The art style is quite retro. You have the buildings in the background, which is the Gen 1 style art. Meowth chilling there on the card, and just that kind of, as I said, Easter egg in the background, making a reference to the older generation, which to me as an old head really hits home because I really do love this. The nostalgia levels are through the roof with this one. It's a card that I'm definitely going to pick up. I haven't yet, unfortunately, but I really do love the art style in general of the card. And of course, with that Easter egg referring to Generation 1, I absolutely adore this card. Now moving on, we have one of my favorite examples, and although these two cards are not jigsaw pieces as such, they do tell a story in some way. So right here you're going to see Meowth, and then right here you're going to see Inkay. Now both Pokemon do appear in both photos and both images of both cards, but obviously Meowth being the main feature right here and Inkay being the main feature right here. Now as you can see, to begin with, Meowth very happy, dancing, singing with his berry. I'm not too sure if that's supposed to be a specific berry. It looks like it could be a custap or a cherry or even a leper. I'm not too sure, but that's besides the point. Meowth very happy, and Inkay very mischievously spying in the background. And when you move on to the second card, as you can see, Inkay steals the berry, runs away, and Meowth not too sure what to do, going crazy and chasing Inkay away with the berry. This is very funny to me. I do love this kind of art. It's very simple, right? But piecing two cards together, maybe it's one you're aware of, maybe not. These two cards from Roaring Skies, I do adore, and I think they're very, very cool cards. Now moving on, we're actually going to go back to Legendary Treasures, and this obviously seems to be a great set for story cards. Now, as you can see right here, there's a pair of little Natus that seem to be struggling in the blizzard. Perhaps they're on a mountain, I'm not sure, but they look like they're struggling and can do with some help. So who comes to the rescue? That would be this card right here, or this Pokemon to be more specific, Bouffalant. And as you can see, Bouffalant is carrying those pair of Natus away in its kind of hair, I guess you would say, on the top of his head. And I just adore this, right? As I've said before in other videos, I'm a big fan of birds in real life. I like birds and bird Pokemon for that reason. Therefore, Natu, of course, being a bird in some way, yes, a psychic and a different type of bird, but still a bird. So it's kind of upsetting for me to see them struggling here on the mountain in the blizzard. So I was very happy to see Bouffalant come to the rescue, carry them away, and I just love how these cards come together. And in general, in the anime when I was a kid, I used to love when you'd see Pokemon collaborate and come together and help each other. And this is a great example of it. Bouffalant coming to the rescue, picking the pair of Natus up, and taking them away to safety. Now jumping back to the future, and more specifically Paradox Rift from Scarlet and Violet, we look at a pair of Pokemon that do actually match themselves, not just in the cards, but also the Pokemon themselves. That of course being Plusle and Minun from Generation 3. Now, they have a pair of illustration rare cards, as you can see right here next to me, and I love how these two go together. Now there's a lot to digest in these cards, right? As you can see, to begin with, on the left, Plusle, it's chaos, right? I love how also the emotion from the people in the background of these cards correlates to the emotion of the Pokemon in the foreground. Now, first off, on the left there, you got a bowl of what, Skittles or M&Ms going flying. You've got chips all over the place. You've got a cup of what, hot chocolate or coffee going flying. Same case with the Minun as well. There's another cup there, looks like it's about to spill. Pizza flying. I love this card, right? And as you can see, the emotions correlate from the people, as I said. Plusle very happy. Also, maybe it's his owner or whatever in the background is also very happy. Minun not so much. Looks like it's about to cry, and so does the owner in the background. So I love the art style. I love the correlation of emotions between the Pokemon in the foreground and the owners in the background. I love the art of all the food and drink in the foreground as well. I just love how these two cards come together. They're fantastic pieces of art, and for me, in my opinion, two cards that you have to add to your collection. Now, whilst we're on the topic of Plusle and Minun, why not jump all the way back to 2004, more specifically to the EX era and the set Hidden Legends, where Plusle and Minun also got another pair of cards that could piece together like a jigsaw. As you can see right next to me here, they can be seen dancing on opposite sides of the rainbow. This is a fantastically beautiful card. Again, I love it. In general, Plusle and Minun, they're average Pokemon. They're not my favorite, but I don't dislike them in any way. But I do love the art that the Pokemon Company decide to give them from time to time. As I said before, the illustration rare cards from Paradox Rift being beautiful, and also these two cards here from Hidden Legends, I also adore. Fantastic cards and ones that I think you have to add to your collection. We're going to jump back to Legendary Treasures yet again, but this time to the Radiant Collection to be more specific. Now, just a quick shout out to a couple of cards before we get into the story cards from this set. I absolutely love these two cards right here, right next to me. So, Flareon EX with the Vaporeon and the Jolteon on either side. This is a fantastically beautiful card. I love the original 3 evolutions there together. Beautiful card, and of course that Pikachu as well. You got 4 of them there in one photo. I love the colors and the art style from these cards. Beautiful, beautiful cards. Now, anyway, moving on to the Radiant Collection, moving on to specifically these cards right here that you can see next to me. That is, of course, the Charmander Evo line. Now, again, it tells a story. As you can see on the far left, it looks as though Charmander might be bullying the kid, right? I mean, it looks like this might be the opposite to the anime, where if you don't know, if you're not aware from the original series, Charmander generates quite a bond with Ash to begin with, but as it evolves, becomes Charmeleon, becomes Charmander, it has a really tough time with Ash. Their relationship is pretty difficult, pretty brutal, and it takes a long time for Ash to kind of gain the respect of Charizard and for them to kind of get on. In this case, it seems that they start off quite difficult and then it becomes quite easy as Charmander evolves. As you can see, Charmander appears to be bullying the child, stealing his glasses while he cries and chases Charmander. Then we move on to Charmeleon, where they're sat on a branch there, seem to be quite chill, getting on quite well. And in that final photo where the kid is now quite old and looks to be an adult, seems to be quite a level of respect there between the adult and Charizard, and seem to be having a great time in the snow. So again, a little bit of a story all through the cards here, all through the Charmander Evo line, and I think these are fantastic cards and ones that I would love to add to my collection. Now, for the very final cards I have to show you today, I've saved the best till last, and why not piece 9 cards together to make one huge photo? Yes, that's what you can do in Crown Zenith. As you can see, you've got Riolu, Swablu, Duskull, Bidoof, Pikachu, Turtwig, Paris, Poochyena, and Mareep. And as you can see, they can all be pieced together to make one huge picture, starting from the ground. Then as you go to the level above, they can be seen in the trees at a higher level. And then above that, you can see Duskull, Swablu, and Riolu there, swinging and flying between the tops of the trees. I just think this is a fantastic thing to do. I love what the Pokemon Company have done here. 9 cards that can be pieced together to make a bigger picture is just fantastic, right? I absolutely adore it, and that's why it's my #1 spot. Well, we haven't done a list today, but I've saved the best till last, which I often try to do when I do lists of things, and this for me is, right? I like all the Pokemon here. I love the artwork. I just love how they come together, right? And I think they're fantastic additions to your collection, and they're from a fantastic set, right? Crown Zenith, as we know, very desirable and loved set. One of my favorites, will go down all time as one of the best. And I just love how 9 of these cards can be pieced together to create a bigger picture. Guys, this has been a really fun video for me to make. I've adored going back and looking at some of my favorite pieces of art that can be pieced together to create those story cards, as I said, or even display an Easter egg or tell a story, etc, etc. Let me know in the comments down below what your guys' favorites are, and also if I've missed some, because I'm sure there's a lot more out there. These are just some of the favorites that I know about and that I've seen. So please guys, as I said in the comments below, let me know your favorites from the video, as well as some that I might have missed. Anyway guys, that's been everything from me today. That concludes today's video. As per usual, thank you so much for watching. I massively appreciate your support. And also, if you are new here and you're not yet subscribed, but you do enjoy TCG related content, please don't hesitate to smash that subscribe button up there. Guys, if you're not caught up yet on my 10 and under series, you can watch a couple of them videos right there. Apart from that, guys, that's been everything. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Pokechala, and I'll catch you in the next one.